As it is now, what we have from the reports of the Guardian is that the governors traveled on Sunday to meet Oyo State Governor Sheyi Makinde, who was also already spending his vacation in Paris. So we have people, with all that is happening in the country, we have people on vacation.
Why not? If not,
wow, we should take vacations.
The job of the state is such that they should have some time to also
autopilot.
Unwind. Yeah, no,
it can run on autopilot.
I'm sure it was in the minds of these governors. They must have done enough. For example, Sheyi Makinde, who is already on vacation.
Sheyi Makinde is there. We have other governors on the trip. We have Benue State Governor Samuel Otom. We have Enugu.
I was expecting to have his name on that list.
Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi.
Yes.
We have Abia State Governor Okezie Ikpeazu.
Yeah.
Yes. These people, came together and they're having a vacation in Paris and
to discuss.
No, they were. I don't know if they were on vacation or they are dead for deliberations.
Whatever it is, they're in Paris.
They are in Paris,
okay,
and they are having deliberations.
Beautiful.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it is further learned that after a brief meeting, the governors then moved to London.
Yes, still in Europe. That's good.
They're on tour
for political reasons.
Wow, that's amazing. So the governors moved to France 2 days ago to join the Oyo governor, who was already there on yearly leave, and then they moved out of France to the United Kingdom. And at the meeting of the PDP Reconciliation Committee in Port Harcourt, the Wike camp had insisted on but I want to move straight to where
did they meet Tinubu?
Where they met Tinubu. Okay, so in the high wired race, it emerged yesterday.
Because the thing is this: if you look at the way the report is written now, and again, these are our guys who wrote some of these things. It started with the governors met in Paris.
I don't know how that tallies, because the major headline there says Wike.
So let's continue to have the report. So
Okay, so let's just go further, because what we have here is that it emerged yesterday that the presidential candidate of the ruling APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, met with Wike outside the country in preparations for the general elections. So this is coming weeks after Fayemi, and they went to visit with that very interesting video that circulated some weeks ago. All right, so now sources close to Wike and Tinubu confirmed last night that the meeting held outside the country, and it explains why Tinubu and Sanwo-Olu were both absent at the FBA conference. I'm still getting to where
we're now getting to sources close to.
Sources close to.
So if we have to go with the sources that really this meeting was held.
It was held. It did happen. It happened. If we have to
this
go back,
we've been saying on this particular desk that politicians are only all for themselves. These people, when push comes to shove, they would always find a meeting ground. They would always find a point. The ordinary people are out there in the cold, fighting themselves, disagreeing amongst themselves. I've held different positions. They've been big beneficiaries of the Nigerian state as governors.
Okay.
And here we are looking at them flying around to hold meetings, not for the interest of the nation, I have to say this again, but for their own personal interests. And so it is left for Nigerians to look at all of these things, to do all of this analysis, and make an informed, all-rounded decision about 2023. I'm not saying it is wrong for them to do all of these things. Of course, the campaign periods are going to start. Whether Wike likes it or not, he has to make a decision whether to stay with the PDP or join whichever party he wants to join. The question for me would be, if he decides to join Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, will still remain in the PDP? Remember that he has a ticket of the PDP already gotten by his loyalist, who is going to run on that platform to become governor of Rivers State. So is he going to be campaigning for?
It's also in the report that is what there's the conversation may be about, because as it is now, they said that the Tinubu camp is trying to get Wike's support, because while it may be hard for Wike to leave the PDP, because some of his followers will be contesting the elections in that
with
party.
The PDP ticket.
So it will be hard. So but then the Tinubu camp is expecting him to use his influence in the state to work for them and deliver rivers for APC.
I'm sorry, I really don't know how the politicians think, but I'm seeing an election where, for example, how easy would it be, for example, to have a Wike deliver votes for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, unless we're saying that Rivers people would not use their individual minds to go on voting day to vote. They would be waiting for the governor to tell them, are they how do I put it? Are they sheep that would just be, because I expect that. What would the governor do now to deliver votes in Rivers State? Is he going to mobilize funds? I'm saying, is he going to mobilize people? Or is he going to talk to them and say, oh, as a governor, he said, I command you all in Rivers State to go?
But
I don't understand where
because we still have a lot of other stories to treat.
It's the major trending story.
No, it is, but still on this story, because I know there's one of the papers here, mentions Amechi's name. Okay. The Punch newspaper, same, trending story, APC.
Well, it's the sitting governor of Rivers State. I think that they feel he
so
has
don't you think it is that influence that they are trying to leverage
it's the influence,
on?
But what I'm saying is this, we don't see. Because, for example, let me give this to you. As a Lagosian, for example, I don't think my governor will tell me who to vote for. I would have to analyze the governor, look at the works he's done to decide who I'm going to vote for. So I'm asking, what would Rike do? You see, that's the issue.
His
PDP,
people,
who already have the PDP ticket, and then on the presidential day, he would campaign for the APC. How's he going to do it? I don't know.
Let's not.
Nuhu Ribadu got the ticket of the APC. Although it was not an open campaign, but
it was
I
not
think
APC.
Yes, it was. It was
not APC.
I think AC. Yeah, it was AC. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Where somehow in Lagos, there was really no Lagos, but the AC still won the governorship in Lagos. So, this is just politics. I think the concern of ordinary Nigerians would be for us to really look at all the presidential candidates and make a very good decision.
Hold in several northwest states as a result of prevalent insecurity in that geopolitical zone. Now, when we are talking of the people there are feeling like, what are we coming to vote?
If President Muhammadu Buhari, the way he's committed to handing over, having a smooth transition of power, commits to it, I can tell you that he's going to deploy the full weight of the army, and I can tell you that elections will hold. Remember, Boko Haram, it took, I think, about 6 weeks to clear them off, and somehow we were able to hold elections in the northeast, in most parts of Borno State, and the likes of Borno, Yobe, and the rest.
But
so
now what this administration is facing now is that insecurity is now prevalent in the northwest.
That's what I'm saying. That
and as it is now, these governors went to meet the president and said, help us out. And aside from the fact that the APC, the ruling party, brought forward a running mate from the northeast. That's another issue that is coming up in this report. That seems to be an issue. You see, the
reports have brought in too many things, too many issues. Some of them not even related. But what I'm saying is that we still have time. The government still has time to clear the northwest of these bandits and create a safe situation where elections can be held. And it's about commitment, really, to the transition process. And I think the body language of the president is showing that commitment for us to have a smooth transition in 2023. So with that commitment, I think he would deploy the full weight of the military, and then we should have a safe situation to have elections in the northwest. I think I'm optimistic about that.
All right. Well, more details on page 9 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's keep moving. We also have here Serap NGE sue federal government as stakeholders urge downward review of TV and radio fees. So coming after, there was this, serious,
report,
there was this serious outcry of almost 54 stations, TV, radio stations, almost 54 was going to be shut down if they did.
And today, the embassy,
yes, and there was now an extension of when they can pay, and today is that when that extension elapses. That's 24th of August, and now as it is, though the NBC deadline for payments of debt owed by broadcast houses amounting view of the license fees, adding that the 5-year advance payment method makes it difficult for many stations. But do you think this is a good call? It's the expense. Yes.
If you look at
licenses,
honestly, since it's also the job we do. I will look at the reality of what we are facing at this time, the peculiarities of the time that we are in. Just the average radio or TV station runs on diesel because there's no power. So and
you can't go off. You can't
go off air.
Go off air.
So the overhead cost has gone up almost 600%. You know, you're looking at running on diesel. You have your vehicles also moving around. You know, you have to buy fuel, and you don't want to lay off staff. You know, a lot of these stations still want to keep running. You want to give good reports. You can't just, if you want to run a proper radio station and give good content, you need to have quality hands, continue to pay salaries, continue to recruit, get more hands, build your reportorial desk, and continue to run your facilities. It means you have to be on diesel, maintenance of generator. Sometimes you have to have 2-3 generators running. So that, because you can't go off air, you have to continue to run. Some of these broadcast stations also run on 24 hours, for example. You know what that means, so I think, yes, the NBC should look at it. Yes, as a regulator, are we interested in having these people continue to do business and inform Nigerians, or want to stifle them out of business? Yes, we understand that they are owing, but I think they have to look at ways of also giving them maybe some more time to be able to pay these debts. Shutting them down would mean that a lot of people will lose their jobs again. Yes, that's what it means automatically. People will lose their jobs.
People would lose their jobs, but I just want to chip in something. When people begin to lose jobs, you also need to understand that then some people will now be overstretched. Okay, and then it lead to burnout, and at the end of the day, you won't get the best out of it. And of course,
so that's what I'm saying. If the NBC is really interested in ensuring that these broadcast outfits exist to continue to inform, entertain, and educate Nigerians,
and give quality
content, they should just find a way to, maybe staggered payment, instead of having the lump sum. Okay, can you pay over a period of time or something?
Okay, just so we have riders to that. What we have here: experts kick against 5-year advance payment for renewing licenses. Why do I have to pay for 5 years all at once? I don't know, but NBC cannot padlock their heirs, insists Akinfeleye. And Akinfeleye is a professor of mass communication.
Professor Ralph.
Yes, Akinfeleye. Okay, apologies for that. And he's also Africa's representative at the World Journalism Education Congress. Okay, so it's too expensive. BON Scribe says fees not exorbitant, charges minimal. Ilela clarifies. All right, so but there's a huge, there's a lot of reports as regards that, and you can get more details on page 9, continuing on page 10 of the Guardian newspaper.
I think the NBC also have to
not be as if we are a radio station and we are trying to
the NBC also have to understand that of course the major source of revenue for any broadcast outfit is advertising, and if the economy is not doing too good, it means that source of revenue is not also as good as one would expect. So this is the time to find ways of helping these broadcast outfits. Help us, yeah.
All right.
It's not as rosy.
It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. They don't use our platform to beg.
We're begging.
Go and join Sarah.
All right. The job will do to in solidarity.
It is, and I can't even begin to imagine staff that work in those stations. They will probably be like, "Are we going to get paid this month? This one that our stations have to pay almost how many millions hundreds of millions." It's a scary situation.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep moving now. Income diversification, improved interest margins lift Zenith Bank's first quarter PBT to 130 billion naira. We can get more details on page 18 of The Guardian. We also have here, presidency attacks The Guardian editorial on Buhari's stewardship. That's on page 2. You can go and read that. It's okay. It's all right. U.S. signs agreement with federal government to return $23 million Abacha loot. Fuhad, how many years now? I think
I wish we could speak to the dead.
23, 24 years or 25 years or so after.
Yes.
And
the monies are still coming back.
Monies are still coming. I don't know.
It would have been nice to.
Abacha loves us so much that he's giving us money from the great.
It's not about love,
From the great beyond.
When I got the news yesterday, I was watching the news yesterday and like, really?
Did you also read the statement?
System. And remember, now they are returning it, but the monies have been in their system for years,
Exactly.
Okay, to keep money and then return
to
later.
Bail us out,
when we don't have money.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's being proactive.
Okay, was just seeing the future. That this is my country.
There's something he invested for, Nigeria on behalf of Nigeria. Yes, that's how it is. Yes. So we are reaping
as
it.
if he stole the money.
But Fuad, I want to ask a question as regards, the fact that year in, year out,
the monies keep coming
in, and we still have
for the federation listing what the money will be used for. Yes, he listed some
the
projects.
attorney or the accountant general.
The attorney general of the federation. I think that was the report I got yesterday, that he listed a number of projects that the money will be used for. And
why is the attorney general the one giving us that?
Well, maybe for legal part of the process of returning the money. He needed to get himself in. The man is always involved with monies, payments, remittances.
But do you think
issues,
that he may say that, we have money now, let's pay part of our $418 million to Paris?
No, that one is a different thing. That one is a different issue. This one is.
Why are you speaking on his behalf?
No, I don't think he's going to say that. He listed some project. I think Lagos Ibadan Expressway is part of it. The completion of the second Niger Bridge and one other project like that. I'm wondering who decides how the money is spent. I think when monies like this are returned, I think somehow the National Assembly should also have a say on how the monies are used, dispersed,
because
and
I'm
dispensed
asking the question. Okay, so let me break this down. Let me give you some parts of the report that may answer, that
this question.
Because we have here that Malami said the decision to return the stolen fund was a product of series of negotiations and meetings between Nigeria, the U.S. Department of Justice, okay, and the United Kingdom National Crime Agency. So that's probably a reason why our own Department of Justice also, is involved.
Honestly, it would be nice to get some traditionals, visit the grave of the late Abacha and ask him some questions. What exactly he was trying to do? I don't know.
Bail us out.
Bail us out?
Yeah.
He stole us dry, You see, I don't understand.
Fuad, he stole us dry, but then we didn't have as much problems as we do now.
Maybe because then there was always.
I don't know.
You didn't know? That was the era we used the Abacha stove. Do you know about Abacha stove?
I don't know Abacha stove.
What
is What was
You know Abacha stove?
Yeah, the ancient one. The AGF is saying that the president has already approved the funds to be utilized for the ongoing Presidential Development Infrastructural Funds project, vision of Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority. All right, so this is I don't know if it's a good one.
Again, my wording.
There were plans for it already. So I don't know why.
Why it has to still go on those projects. Unless we say that, look, we're just pushing the projects as funds are coming in. We're putting funds on them. We don't really have funds set aside for them. But I still think that when funds like this come in, it shouldn't just be a unilateral decision of the executive. There's a reason for there should be an input of the representatives of the people, since it's the money of the people, on how to spend this money, so that it's not looking as if it's a lopsided kind of spending. I don't know. I just feel that the National Assembly should also be involved on how to spend this money, on what to spend the money on.
Well, if we are going by the way things have been going, then I'm sure very soon we'll have another money from Abacha. Maybe.
You see, the reason why I'm even saying if you have traditionalists that can speak to him is that is the ones they've seen. No, there may be other
traditionalists to speak to Abacha. To tell us where is the remaining.
The other, because for these are the ones probably they've been able to trace.
I want to ask a question though. Do you think this is the right time, or this is the right administration to give that information to?
Where the monies are. And that's why it's difficult to speak to the dead. They should have. Where are the other monies? Because what happened in that era? Was it that the guy was just going to the CBN and was just moving money? There was no. Well, it's a military era, but there was no control.
Well, U.S. signs agreement with federal government to return $23 million Abacha loot. And more details on page 3.
Just 1 minute. The era where these guys were stealing monies, taking it abroad, keeping it in banks and all of that. That was the same era that some other countries in the Arab world were building infrastructure, diversifying their economy, building themselves up.
Lagos Ibadan Expressway as crashed trailer worsened traffic.
Yeah, traffic.
As on page 6 of the Guardian returned, some of it is going to be pumped into the Lagos Ibadan Expressway.
You already have a timeline of completion of 6 months, So
yes, but then I don't know. I don't know. The Lagos Ibadan Expressway seems to be got a whole lot of funds, a whole lot of time. And I don't know, it's almost like a never-ending project. And
it is too,
page 6 of the Guardian, and finally from the Guardian, you are misleading Nigerians, ASU tells federal government. that's about that from the Guardian.
We shouldn't dwell so much on that. Yes.
It's okay. All right, you're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM, and we're on trends in the papers. We're looking through the trending stories from the front pages of our dailies. Don't forget that you can watch the program live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. All right, thank you very much. So let's keep moving now. The Nation newspaper, the major headline: PDP crisis, stop bragging, Lamido tells Wike and supporters. And former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, faults PDP BOT chair stand on party leadership. So let me see what he's saying exactly about it. If you dig deep into the story, he's faulting the position of the Board of Trustees chairman, that's Senator Walid Jibril, saying it was wrong for him to kick against the leadership structure of the party. And Lamido also went further to caution Wike against bragging, pointing out that his influence will soon fade after leaving office next year. So you should tread carefully, just as you have been saying, Fuad.
If you look at the Nation's report, you may understand why the Nation is taking its own story from that angle. But the fact is this: I think Bode George, the Chief Bode George, is correct when he said the devil has entered the PDP.
It's like
he said it's like. Oh, I'm saying the devil has entered the PDP.
It's okay.
I'm helping him. You should forget because you can't have this kind of crisis. But I think that the smart thing for Atiku to do is just to move on with his campaign and probably just ignore Wike. But I'll say this again: maybe there are things they know about Wike that we don't know from the outside. We are not politicians. There may be some things that Wike has as magic wand to win the presidential election in 2023, and they think he's the only one that has it. That's why everybody is at his beck and call. Everybody is almost like saying, Oga, you need to be on my side. There may be something about Wike that we don't know. But if it's about elections and about people casting their votes with their independent minds, I don't know why everybody has to continue to go on the foot of Wike to beg him like a demigod. If it's about casting of votes, but it may be other things that the politicians.
Newspaper. We also have here, ASU plans indefinite strike. Congresses end in 120 years to meet its demands. And the Nation gathered yesterday that most of the over 123 branches of the union have completed their congresses. Others are expected to round off theirs today.
It's still the same position.
Yes, but we were hoping that the NEC meeting of ASU, which is scheduled for Sunday, is where we'll get the
final decision. Of the union,
But then, as it is now, none of the branches, including the University of Abuja, voted for anything other than indefinite strike. That's what the 123 branches so far.
And I think all of those resolutions will be debated at the NEC meeting, and I think if all your branches are saying one thing, the NEC cannot say something different. So
all right, well, just as you have said, the report is saying NEC will have to meet and review the decisions of all the branches and decide on what to do.
They can't decide against what all their branches want, so
and
they preempt that.
If 123
is saying one thing.
Saying one killed Islamic cleric Goni by Lance Corporal. That's on page 5. That's that's a trending story that we've it's a running story that we've.
Although people have brought religious coloration to it by saying no, it's just one deranged military officer. So we shouldn't always associate it with, because people are saying he's just a Christian. I said no. I just think it's just one crazy guy that has to face the music for what he did.
He said it there. I mean, the guy said it that he had it. It was premeditated.
Yeah, so it's not.
He had it in his mind that he just needed a car. He will see someone with a car and hijack it from the owner. Anyhow, he needed to. So he in this case now he had to shoot the man.
So because I've seen reports people saying because he was a Christian soldier, because the man was a Muslim. I said no, it's just somebody who wanted to commit a crime. And he's going to have his day in court and face the music.
It was premeditated. He said it there. Let me just read this. He said that when he woke up on Friday, that Lance Corporal change any vehicle that he sees and take it from the owner.
Imagine.
So he said when he saw the Honda coming, give him a lift.
Yeah, the man gave him a lift. Yeah,
gave him a lift to Jajimaji, and he said no problem. So when they reached the first checkpoint, He saw soldiers collecting money from drivers. He asked me why. I told him, oh, I don't know, because it's not every soldier that collects money. Anyways, he was not in uniform, but then the car owner knew that he was a soldier because he introduced himself as a soldier. But then the point is that he told him that, oh, he's hearing a sound, that he should park. So it was when he parked and he went to check, he also came down, and then that was when he did what he had to do. Yes, so it was premeditated, and that's it. So he had no religious or ethnic.
Thank God that at least the report is there to.
So that more details on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. We also have 6 die in Ondo crash. That's also on page 5. Very unfortunate. We also have here Nigeria, US sign pact on return of $23.4 million.
Did the job.
2.362 percent of derivation funds are set aside for ecology and disaster management, which all levels of government get a part of.
So what are they doing with it?
What are they doing with these funds? Because we have
a lot of funds.
But you can't speculate that this one is going underneath their pockets.
What are they doing with it?
That's the question. So we can't say that it's going underneath their pockets.
That's why this report is coming up. That look,
we're asking questions. Where's the money?
For example, there was warnings that there was going to be flooding in most parts of Ogun State. What did Ogun State do? There was still the flood. So many places were still flooded.
Millions of property lost. And more details on page 2. The presidency is querying the state. More details on page 2. We also have here Buhari unveils 10-year football master plan.
I don't know what plan is. 10 years. He's leaving next year. You should allow to the next government. Let him just.
It's okay.
But don't try.
More details.
Some of these ministers are just.
Why I stole what?
That's a mental health issue.
That's where you come in from. But then a man who allegedly stoned his 2 sons, boys, 3 and 5 years old.
He stoned them to death.
And he stoned them to death. All right.
I always say something. So just 10
you
seconds.
think it's taking out his
mental health issue now.
Taking out his frustration.
It's just mental. The guy needs to.
That's unfortunate. His own sons, though. More details on page 5 of the Nation. Finance and power ministers being every day.
Whether they generate or not.
Whether. We're paying attention.
But let's take the report again. It will help.
Why do you want to take the report?
Just so that people will understand the problem that we are facing.
It's
simple. Remember the name of that company.
I cannot forget agreements with them. So yes,
pay them whether they generate or not.
Whether or not.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's here, and okay. So the transmission company of Nigeria yesterday told the House of Reps Committee on Finance that Azura Power Company has not been able to deliver the 450 megawatts. I'm saying this 450 to juxtapose it against Egbi.
Those that are doing enough.
Egbi
at least their own part.
Egbi is doing 1,650. And then you have the second one also doing 650 or so. But then you have Azura,
the beautiful Azura,
that's supposed to give us 450 megawatts to the national grid. That's the issue that we're having now. So now the TCN is saying that the company was unable to deliver power as agreed. Just want to know how the TCN had evacuated power from the company and why transmission lines are not be completed. The TCN boss said the company relied on the Bini Oshogbo transmission line. And so but the point
where we are going to is the payment part here.
The point I am coming from is that monthly to Azura.
For delivering what?
Whether or not they do it.
We pay them 33 million to the power sector. So
the reps have summoned both the finance and power ministers, and the people who sat on that table to make that agreement it would
be nice to even know the owners of Azura. I think
is it something we should look into the Azura deal.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one
for investigative journalism.
Yeah, okay. The Azura deal.
We'll work on that.
Let's dig deep into that.
Who owns Azura?
Who owns Azura? Who are the people who went into this? You can't blame those ones because there is no transmitting line.
Okay.
So
you see the web of confusion now in that sector.
Page 3 has more detail. That's on page 4. And we also have here Zenith post 405 billion, 3 billion naira to government coffers. Just so we know what NEPZA means.
What $13 million
to refund 13.3 billion the agency allegedly failed to remit to the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation with immediate effect. So remember that some days ago we talked about the MPA also. They generated 170 and then to remit.
I'm still asking
more
about
details on page 3.
TSA.
The Treasury single account
payments.
What was the point? Then we were like, okay, so everybody has to pay to one place. So
before it's now disbursed
to the TCA. Why are they paying, to the agencies first?
Are we jettisoning the idea of the TSA?
Valid question for her. Thank you. Let's move on to the Punch. We don't have so much time, all right, but I'm sure we've dealt in presidential race. Tinubu Wike meet in UK. PDP Mechi lukewarm. Presidential candidates men. That's coming from presidential candidates men. That's Tinubu's men.
Lukewarm, yeah.
Amechi is lukewarm.
Well, I've seen Amechi has not really been out there.
Disposition.
His public disposition, his mannerism.
But he's not just the only one. There are a lot of people in the APC that one would think that president.
He recently did a knee surgery.
I like the fact that you have an answer for every.
I'm just trying to answer for them.
Why are you desperate? Says Governors Associate. More details on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. We also have truck crashes into Lagos Ibadan Expressway causes gridlock, and that's more details on page 12. And if you look at it, it's
on that Kara Bridge or something. I'm seeing that it's almost.
I wonder how somebody that I know that we both know will get to work this morning.
Yeah, so he sort himself. Yeah.
Okay, moving on now. PDP assembles 100 witnesses, says Oyetola's petition time wasting. More details on page 8 of the Punch. We also have cultists shoot rival dead in Lagos restaurant. Yeah. Suspects. Now imagine I went to eat and I'm eating my amala and my ogufe and somebody
before go. If it's not a group, okay, K2, yeah.
Alakpere, yes, that's what we have here. Alakpere area.
But Lagos, I think the police needs to do a lot of work with
passengers die in Nasarawa, Ondo crash. All right. PSC workers threaten strike. Commission suspends recruitment. This is actually another interesting story that's interesting. Well, more details of this report on page 9.
It's the job of the Police Service Commission to do so.
So where does the IG come in, and why is he saying that he's not aware of the recruitment or whatnot? There's a recruitment ongoing, and that's where this is coming.
The IG should know the question.
We also have here Nigeria recovers 86 billion naira
stolen oil.
Yeah.
Have they sold it?
ASU parents propose 10,000 naira support levy for varsities. That's on
10,000 naira what?
Support levy to support ASU. Let's see. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, it's good to have the details of that proposal.
All right then, no issues. More details on page 20, and what we.
The association against Hannah, I'm sorry.
National Parent Association, PTA, national level.
Okay, all right.
PTA. Okay. Do you go for PTA? Per session for each parent to assist the government in making more funds available for universities.
Okay.
All right.
These are elitist thinking.
Yeah, because private universities already pay this. In my school, the school I went to, we were paying 25,000 development levy.
You are not part of us. You are rich.
The PTA was paying.
I'm just saying this is.
All right, we don't have so much time, so I'll just pick what we weren't able to pick from the other page. Vanguard newspaper. Horse trade says Wike can't. BOT to receive reconciliation panel reports today. Newspaper. We also have here terror. Has decided to stop, banditry. He wants to move, but details on page 13
public thing?
of Vanguard newspaper. All right, so we have to put a stop to it there because we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll move on straight to Mainland Focus. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM, and Sahid Fuhad is here. My name is Omobola Sandra. We'll be back by phone line for you to join in on the conversation. All right, so stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening EFCC, that's Economic Financial Crimes Commission, have disabled having. So to INEC, okay, the EOC would not only electoral offenders, so they want to, take that burden off.
So they concentrate on
according to them, they said that, elections, 125 cases of electoral offenses were filed. All right. And if you look at it, even the electoral, I'm not happy with this or something. All right.
Electoral disputes.
Electoral disputes. Not necessary. The anti-graft agency is arguing that different laws mission to arrest and prosecute electoral offenders. All right. So if you're coming from Deborah Ademo Ete, an assistant commander with EFCC, she's saying a holistic analyzed by extant laws, such as the Electoral Act 2022, Financial Crimes Establishment Act. So if is opposite to state themselves are empowered under our extant laws to investigate and prosecute, and there's therefore no need to create an agency solely for the purpose of investigation. It's every 4 years.
Common sense.
Being that elections is just a question that let the existing law enforcement agencies
take care of it.
Let them be strengthened to continue to do that. So now we're asking you, our listener, this very simple question. INEC and ensuring that there's free and fair elections, electoral offenses in heavy expenditure.
I agree completely with the EFCC.
So that is one of our focus for this morning. All right, so that one was money. Abacha, General Sani Abacha,
the late General Sani Abacha, black goggled man.
The black goggled man. Yes, he has never seen, every year in his abundance from wherever he is, he sends us millions and millions and millions of dollars, not naira, millions and millions of dollars. All right, now we are looking at this current one that he has sent to us in his magnanimous nature. He has sent us $23.4 million, and the US is ready to, they've signed the pact already, and they're ready to return this money to us. But now, where we are having issue with and why it's on mainland, Abuja Kaduna Road, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, and Second Niger Bridge. That is what we're going to be using, the money for. I have questions. Is it that there were no monies, set aside for those projects at all? Okay, and then why is the legislative not involved?
Representative of the people,
since they are the representatives of the people. I want to bring us, bring to our memory, juggle our memory a bit. Some months ago, we talked about how Ibori money was recovered from Ibori, and how Delta State no money is missing in our coffers. We don't know any money that you're talking about. Because the federal government said if she says so, then we'll have the money. Then Delta State turned around and said, no, it's our money.
But you said no money was missing.
Give us back our money. This is the issue that we're having. So is it our years? Is it that money was not set aside for those projects?
For the completion of those projects.
Because
we gave a timeline for Lagos Ibadan, for example.
It's 6 months.
So one would have assumed that there are money set aside for
the minister of
said it's nearing completion.
He said by October it will be done. So why are we expending $23.4 million on those projects again? That's another focal point that we are looking at. All right, we have so many things that would have loved to look at, but let's stick with those two. All right, would really appreciate it. So you have just 2 minutes. Okay, you have just 2 minutes to share your contributions as regards these two. Let's keep it as clean as possible. 09136 000 410 09136 000 410. Hello, good morning. Oh,
are you hearing me now?
Okay, now we can.
Okay, I'm Frank from Abacha. Franklin.
Okay, Frank from Egbeda. Well, with you.
Okay. My own point. All those projects have been finished. They are just finding ways to sweep, but they know what they are doing. All those things. You know that there are other projects that have not been done, but they are just focusing on those ones so that they can be able to extract any amount they need. So all those guys are just giving it to their own people. That's just a huge idea for them. I don't know all those money. I don't know how to put it, but those guys.
You have put it.
They know exactly what they are doing.
All right, thank you.
They know exactly what they are doing.
Thank you, Frank, for your contribution. All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Rebecca Godwin Elias, calling from Oroshuki.
Rebecca Godwin.
Rebecca Godwin Elias, calling
Godwin
from
Elias,
Oroshuki.
calling from Oroshuki. All right, well, with you. Carry on.
My contribution is concerning the man that stoned his two kids to death.
No, we're not discussing that. That's not the focus.
Okay. I also want to contribute on this.
That is also not the focus, Mr. Gordon. Maybe I should.
Maybe you should call back.
Maybe you call back. I will read out the focus again. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
This is Chinedu from Morisumbari.
All right. Good morning, Chinedu.
I want to ask, all those ones that have been recovering ever since they entered the office, who they say they put it in Niger, second Niger bridge, in the Lagos Ibadan Express. Is it that second Niger bridge and the Lagos Ibadan Express when never finish? The project not finish. Every time, what the money they do, they recover. They say that they want to put it before they come put problem on it. Every month they recover, they should come and explain to us what they used to do with the money they recovered and not all these things they are saying.
Okay. All right. I think it's done. Thank you for your contribution, Chinedu. Hello. Good morning.
Very good morning to you, Sandra.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
Adherence is Fuad. Morning to you.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
God bless all of you and bless your management.
Amen.
You see this one before we go to your topic. Sarah, go to court because for your radio station and think.
Prince Wise, let's
okay,
focus
go to court this Saturday. So, let's go to your topic now.
Okay.
The Abacha are putting the money on infrastructure because when you say that there's a time in the 8th National Assembly, personal budget around 20 billion, they cut it down to 10 billion. That's what like second service. You know, when you are wanting to cut off for 200 billion, you can't pay the money at twice a year, the budget is little money. But this time around, when the first has battled to this project, before the project will complete at a record time. When you see contractors knowing this project, when you give them money, we do the money at a record time. We want this project to be completed at a record time. We want it to be commissioned, and that's what I expecting. Put any amount of money into this thing, let it be completed, and to the road, the money you borrow or the one you want to spend for another thing, it will come around. And for the second point, that money should be spent for. What can be part of the money goes to purchase a lot of buses? Let Abacha look on it, so that it be a lesson for those who want to spend our money. Today, as it is now, Abacha children, they can't be happy. Anytime they mention their daddy, they stole our money, our commonwealth. It's a shame on them. Let it on, give it to the Grand Labour Congress. Buy a lot of buses for them. Free ride. Look for Nigeria. That's what I said this morning. Good morning to you.
Yeah, what he said, right?
No.
That they should buy buses for Labour and write Abacha loot on it.
Right. Hello.
Hello, I'm back again.
Okay.
Yes.
Who are you?
Okay. This is Godwin.
Okay, Godwin.
Yeah. We are busy talking about Abacha loot. Why? I want to ask about where is IBB loot?
We are not talking about that. There's nobody has said he looted anything.
09136000410. We have two focal points for this morning. The first one is the disagreement between INEC and EFCC. INEC is proposing that there should be an establishment of Electoral Offences Commission, to unburden them, of the fact that they are the ones currently responsible for electoral offences. But EFCC, there are extant laws, as regarding electoral offences in place already. And they went further to say, besides, electoral offences, elections are a seasonal thing. Its point is Abacha's loot, $23.4 million recovered from the US, Abacha's loot. And they're saying that they're going to spend it on the Abuja-Kaduna Road, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and the second Niger Bridge. But we're asking this question. Is it that there were no funds set aside for these projects already? Not forgetting that the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the timeline is that by December 2022, they will be done. And also the second Niger Bridge, the Minister of the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, told us that by October, the second Niger Bridge will be, open. So if these projects are already in place and monies have already been set aside, then why are we using these funds to sort out these projects? That's the question that we're asking this morning. All right, so that's the focus, just in case you're just tuning in. And all you have to do is call in or send a text message or a WhatsApp message to share your contributions. 091 36 410. That's the number for you to call or send a text message to. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Chikodi.
Chikodi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from VI right now.
Okay.
All right, Chikodi. Please speak louder so we can hear you.
Okay. About the yes.
Hello?
Conducted.
Hello?
That dollars. Can you hear me?
Please, you have to start again because we didn't get what you said.
Okay, yes. I said about the EFCC argument with the INEC.
Okay.
We are the EFCC when primarily we are conducted and the dollars we are throwing up and down. They were there, they didn't do anything. On some election, the EFCC said they captured some people. So, that is one. About the Abacha loot. Abacha loot comes up in and out because Abacha is dead. Most of them in power today, they have their own. But nobody's talking about it. It's not because Abacha is dead. If Abacha was alive, nobody will hear about Abacha.
Line is breaking.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chikodi. But we got the point that he was trying to, give in your contribution. We appreciate. He said the first thing I think, which was actually very valid. The first point he gave was that the EFCC, they were there when they said they were sharing dollars.
And nothing.
They were not doing anything. So if we have a commission that is their only job,
maybe they'll be more
attentive.
And,
They'll be more attentive and focused. That's another angle.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. And he also mentioned as regards
because Abacha is dead.
It's because Abacha is dead that we are seeing loot. But the point is, what is the loot being used for? That's what we're asking.
Have a say?
Shouldn't we have a say? Should we have a say? That's what we are discussing. All right. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. I don't mean any comment because I don't want to shove up my time. Let me just go direct. This is Ambassador Musa.
You have already shut up your time.
If I start breathing, I start removing my. I start from now. TikTok. Yeah, Abacha loot. Abacha loot. For me, yes. That's why we talk about Abacha loot. We start talk about it because Abacha is dead. Going to tell me other presidents are not involved in kind of this, but let's leave that for now. For me, I'm looking for a government that will sue all the foreign nations, all those who are responding this money. They need to be sued. But they don't want to encourage this kind of a thing. This one, where the interest? Since how many years ago now? Why the interest?
You are not even happy that they return the money to you.
No, we should be grateful that they're returning the money.
We should happy, but at the same time, we should not encourage this. They are encouraging stealing.
How?
Yes, I'm looking for a government that will sue them. Look, when I took money from my state, from my country down to your country, and you allow it to stay, using the money, the interest, and everything, and I usually return the real money. They don't return you interest. Like, look, that's what they say. It's not. It's the issue for other day. Now, there's none of them returned to Nigeria. What are they going to do with the money? Not that reloot again. Because I've been hearing Abacha loot now. Not it's long time. So no how. They should make account for it. The government will come that will go deep down to know how they use it to make this money. And on the INEC, I think INEC are independent body. Even if they say that they want to hold the EFCC, fine. What's the commission that goes on this? Okay, because there's distraction. Let's call it a lot of distraction on that level. INEC should wake up. Practice what they preach as free independent. Are they free independent? Why do you answer that one? Good morning.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Musbah. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra. My name is Ojo. I'm calling from Antoro State.
Okay. All right.
The financial assignment to be doing a next job.
No.
Electoral offenses.
Electoral offenses, which is part of which vote buying is a part of, so that's what
that's what EFCC is saying.
I understand now. Then what I want to say about that is that the problem we have is that we don't have strong institutions. If anyone could come and make our institutions strong, there won't be need for all that. These institutions are quite not strong. Individuals are stronger than them. So all these presidents are trying to come, this presidential candidate should focus on making our institutions strong.
Okay.
That's one, so that all these things should be avoided. Concerning Abacha's loot, Abacha Investment Nigeria Limited, I think we should be thanking that Abacha. Because all these loot are coming,
I agree.
coming in handy.
We should be thanking him, but then what are the monies being used for? That's another thing.
That's where I'm going to.
Okay.
Look at the ASU problem. Where they are channeling this thing to shows that they don't have any interest in settling ASU problem. I thought that any money they get now, they will just focus on dealing with this. They are about going on indefinite strike, and they are not talking about this money is coming. They are channeling to other projects to be opened. So if this money did not come, that bridge will not continue, or what? The October promise will not hold to Nigerians, both Christians and Muslims, that our prayer points should change. They will let us be praying for more death, more people to die.
Nosedived at some point. But let's take some messages at the morning. I can't imagine up till now Abacha loots are still being recovered, despite all we have been recovering so far. I'm as shocked as you are we. May God have mercy on us. Olawale from Iju. That's why we're asking the question, should we be a part of the decision on how the money should be spent? Because hundreds of millions of dollars
with to international standard, this is what we use this for. But I'm worried that we are still putting this money on projects that are ongoing, that already have timelines of completion.
What he just said now just reminded me of what Prince YS said, that
just already have timelines of completion. So like the last caller said, so if this
they
money
didn't have the money, they won't complete it.
So what are we saying?
Valid one. Let's take some more messages. Good morning, guys. We're not serious as people where looted money becomes our day. I wish they will owe the money back, because I can guarantee you this money will not be relocated by these so-called politicians as I see my country. That's Sam from Ota. Sharing his own contribution. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
Project in the finish. You see, first and foremost, I would like to thank the Almighty God and our Lord and Provider, General Sani Abacha, for coming through for the boys that Sakpa is holding us as a country. It's not easy.
Who is this person, please?
What is your name?
My name is Da Vinci. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Okay, Da
Vinci from Ikeja.
Are you from Italy?
No.
It's not a small something. We need to erect a monument to celebrate a visionary leader. For what is not being. Every time Sakpa hold us, Baba comes through a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
what are we using this alert for now?
You see, as a country, we need to realize that we need a ministry of project implementation. Clearly, our political leaders lack the expertise to initiate and close the project.
That is why we are paying consultants hundreds of millions of dollars. We have consultants for all these things.
My sister, you see, 2023 is coming. People are trying to close shop so that in case happen, they will get retirement plan. And that's how it is. That's why it's easy to just carry. You see, those projects, they are like a black hole. Once the money goes in, you have to say where did the money go to specifically. You can't trace it anymore. It's gone. It's abracadabra with the pen. Otherwise, how will you initiate a project? Tell us you will close it by the end of the year, but you know that you don't have the resources to implement it. So you are waiting for Uncle Abacha to come through. What a shame. What a shame. What a shame.
Thank you.
By this, hopefully, all of this will end by next year. Regarding the EFCC matter, what is the next problem? Everything, Electoral Office Commission, Electoral Affairs Commission. How many staff I need there? Now, doctor, they want to do Electoral Affairs Commission. Now, so I bet they take one place. Thank you, gentlemen. Good morning.
It's okay. Thank you for your contribution, Da Vinci. We appreciate. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Akin calling from Atoy, North Ogun State.
Okay. Please go ahead.
I know they will come from you, but I'll ask the honest question.
Okay.
I would like your guest in the studio there to define the budget for us.
You want me to define
When
the
the budget, you define the budget, but let me finish my thought.
All right.
When they say this is the budget of the country, is it that the money is being kept somewhere, or as money comes in, you put it on the project?
Of course, look, the thing is that in a country like Nigeria, we budget in anticipation. This is what we're going to spend. So as you see the money, you keep appropriating it on it.
Then why are we complaining about Abacha loot being spent on this? And we know that.
Let me answer.
Let me credit is on, please.
Oh, Fuhad, hold on.
I'm with you. We have 3 projects now ongoing. Second Niger Bridge, Kaduna Abuja Road, and
no, that's a real line. Abuja Kano Road.
Yeah, and
Lagos,
Abuja Kaduna Road Expressway.
Boss, hello, hold on. The 3 ones that I'm correcting you, Kaduna Abuja is a real line. The one that they are working on, that they want to work, that they mentioned, is Abuja Kano Road.
Okay, thank you. They are this 3 projects under the presidential this thing. I forgot the name given to it.
Okay.
So priority is given to these 3 projects. So this percentage that they've been spending on this thing, what is the percentage to the actual cost of this project?
Let me ask you.
And please remember, there was a time. Fashola said, let's finish Ibadan Expressway once. He wrote his proposal to the National Assembly, and Saraki said it is not. Ibadan Expressway wasn't the only road in Nigeria.
Saraki is how many years ago? Let's talk about now. Let's leave Saraki out of it.
Down. No, that is why this is delaying now.
Wait, hold
Those
on.
are the reasons why it's delaying.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
We propose it then. Let's finish it once and for all. But the senators said no. Which is Saraki. He cut it down.
I want to ask him a very simple question.
Ask me, man. Ask me.
Did you get the information that they said the Lagos Ibadan Expressway will be completed in 6 months?
If it will be completed in 6 months, and money is allocated for it,
did you get
the money down now?
So how do you give a timeline for a completion of a project when the money is not on ground?
At this point now,
if Abacha did not bring money now, you will not complete. Why do you give a timeline?
Thank you, Fuad Said. I appreciate the passion. All right, Mr. Akin from Ota.
I don't know how people reason.
Yes, it's okay. It's all right. I appreciate your passion. Thank you. But I think except we don't want to be objective with our criticism or with our conversations. What that is asking is that if you have put a timeline
on a project,
we're even talking. I'm even looking at the second Niger Bridge.
There was also a timeline.
The second Niger Bridge, they said that by these projects, it is believed that funds have already gone into them.
For you to give a timeline,
and that's why there's a timeline. That's why there's a deadline. All right. So that is the assumption that we're working with. But if you're coming in with the argument that they don't have funds, they're only let's be open to in our conversation. Don't just have this mindset. All right, let's take some messages at this point now. Fuad, thank you very much, but I'd appreciate it if you just let our callers express. Then after they're done, you can I would really appreciate that. Good morning, Mainland FM. My name is Steve Ikelu from Mende, Maryland. Okay, Steve is talking about ASU, but let me see where. Okay, he's talking about ASU. All right, we'll take the message later on. Okay, please, I'd like to ask you guys, good morning. House of Assembly gave 6 weeks warning to President on security. What happened to that date? Prophet says, man will not day naked, no they pull hand for pocket. Will tried for fake. Okay, no, I'm sorry, I'm not getting. All right, I think let's just move back to taking phone calls. Let me see if I can get these messages correctly. Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Comrade Shagun from Ikeja.
Good morning, Comrade Shagun.
Yes, it has been a while. I call the decision.
Yeah.
Whenever I want to call whenever I want to call, I will see that what I want to say, talk about, people have said it, so there will never be any means for me to call again. That's why I always choose my call. And I appreciate you people. You are doing the good work. God will reward you. And again, it has been long. I hear from this comrade from Ikeja Cantonment. That comrade, I always boost our morale.
OC morale.
What about him? OC morale, yeah.
That's a good one. We'll check on him much later on.
Okay, thank you very much. God bless you.
Amen. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Comrade Shegun. We appreciate your thoughts. Thank you. 091-3600-410. 091-3600-410. Okay, that's the number for you to call, or you can send a text message or a WhatsApp message to share your contributions. Okay, we also have some messages here. It says, "Good morning, House. Between EFCC and the electoral body, two houses divided against each other, which is bound to fall. On Abacha, the money is too small compared to what the driving cartons of dollars. Must we wait till they die before we recover them?" And that's Gerald Chinedu from Ikotu. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Sandra. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Peter Monse.
Yes, ma'am. Bradford, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Now, somebody was asking, what is budget? And I know that when you are making a budget and there are projects that you want to execute, you will say we are expecting so amount from the oil sector. We are expecting so amount from the customs and excise. We are expecting. You now tell us where was this government, or did they tell us that they were expecting some money from a Niger bridge, which I believe these projects are bottomless pits that continue to receive money and will sink the money. I don't know whether to hell or to the depth of the river. We are not seeing the project moving the way it should. Did the government tell us that they will tell us that? For me, I just believe that they just use this as a conduit. These projects are used as conduit pipe to siphon our money. The time will come. We have heard about loot. I don't know whose loot we will be talking about in future. Because for me, I believe that these people, some of them will be worse than Abacha. When in that the government that told us that they didn't have money. I think this is like this money that you did not expect, you did not plan for. Even if America told you they will return this money, you were not sure. Now that this money has come unexpectedly, give this money to us. Any other one, give it to us. As long we will know that you gave it to us. But you say you are using it for Lagos to Badon, for me, you are putting it in a bottomless pit that will end up in the other account. I told us that I want to cross all the things. That's why he was trying to come back. And now he has come back, he's dusting the eyes, he's crossing the teeth before he will hand over. They are in the night market. They want to buy the laptop.
Thank you, Mr. Monse.
God will expose them tomorrow.
It's
Thank
right.
you.
Well,
It's tomorrow.
We don't know if it's tomorrow, figuratively.
All
Hello?
right.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, no.
Good morning.
Pango.
Okay.
I just called to support Mr. Fuad. In fact, if I'm close to him, I will have sent him something fantastic this morning. No, it's true. I'm sincere that he really tackled the guy who made mention of that budget stuff. You know, we are trying to go forward in this country, so people are trying to drag us backward. These are simple facts. And all these things are not something that we cannot see or we cannot verify. So I don't know whether it's ignorance that some people just want to come. It's unfortunate that that most of us we don't really know where this country is heading to, and we are not making effort, because we cannot just call on the national radio and begin to ask.
So however, Mr. Solomon, what's your own thank you. What's
yes,
your own contribution?
that's why I'm coming in. Now, my own stake this morning is concerning the INEC. First of all, INEC and the EFCC.
Okay.
My first question would be that how on this that the EFCC is not the one opposing INEC over what they want for themselves. If at all they are not comfortable with that, and then why are they even opposing that in the first place? I'm not in support of creating another commission. But what I will have loved to suggest is that INEC can also create a department within their own district, because they are independent. Why interfering with the INEC? They need to create a legal department that will execute that task. Because some of these cases cannot end in 1 year or 2 years. We have some cases that linger for even more than 3 years or 4 years. Even before the next election, those cases will still be there. So I would suggest that why don't they have a department? But what EFCC is supposed to do, they are not doing it. They are busy, putting mouth in with what has nothing to do with them. And concerning this Niger bridge of a thing, I think I've been to the east, and by the special grace of God, I'll be there even this week. Look, the Niger bridge, you need to go and see it. Everything, even if the what is remaining now is the link roads. And then, so I don't know how on earth they want to push money over there. It has happened before, it's still happening. God will help this country.
Amen.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Menane.
Good morning, Damlola.
Good morning, Sandra. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Mr. Val, good morning.
Morning, sir.
My big boss, please. You have to calm down a bit. This, when you're dealing with Nigerians, you're dealing with a set of people that are very bad with special character and characteristics in the world. So I understand. Now the thing is, I don't know. Like the last caller said, we don't see things very clearly in this country. See, like we must look at the AFCC and the INEC. Why would they argue? The same constitution actually established to them. Why would they argue? That means two of them are not sincere. EFCC cannot trust the INEC. INEC cannot actually trust EFCC. Then who's fooling who? Okay, why would the INEC undo the matter when the EFCC have everything in their list? So allow them to undo it. Except there's one or two things that they don't want to actually tell Nigeria. I don't think that one is necessary. That simply means we have to keep our eyes very close on INEC, and we need to look at the EFCC as well. Because all these tribunal issues, in fact, at the end of the day, many people are arrested and nothing will be heard later as regard that matter. Then on the second issue, Sandra, let's call a spade a spade. These our leaders are very wasteful. They are very, very wasteful. Now the thing is, the budget, Lagos and Ibadan Express, are we making express to heaven? What's our problem in this country? And I love the way Sandra, our ancestor, Abacha, sending money to Western Union. In fact, I love that one. I'm telling you. The thing is that all the money sending all this wine, what are we using it for? Can we account for everything? Time to time, this man sending money from heaven or from here. And till now, we didn't use them. We didn't use them rightly. I have a problem in this country. That is why they will travel around the whole world for vacation to go and rest. When last did you see Joe Biden in Nigeria coming to rest? When last did you see the president coming to come and rest? These people but they are good for mediocres.
It's okay.
We need to wake up.
It's okay.
Thank you, good morning.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We don't know where he is either, but we know that he's sending us money. Anywhere he's sending the money from, we are grateful for the money that he's sending. I'll take some messages now. It's okay. Thank you for what. Sandra and Mr. Ford, I totally agree with Prince YS. This is authentic from Ijegun, Satellite Town. We also have here the terrible system that allowed Abacha to loot this country to her knees is still in existence, meaning that a lot of looting is still ongoing, especially in this current APC administration. All we hear is Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. We have a long way to go in this country. It's a shame. And that's Sam Ikutal from Ikeja. I have a question, actually. I mean, Lagos, how long is Lagos-Ibadan Expressway?
I don't know.
That's taking 2 administrations to...
2K. It started from Obasanjo's regime.
That's 4. How long is this Lagos-Ibadan Expressway? I think that's another thing. But then I have here, good morning, mainland crew, about the Abacha refund. Can U.S. government tell us who signs for the transfer of the money and which account? It will be the
AGM is involved.
The AGM
I'm sure
is
the
involved.
Minister of Finance and everything.
And about EFCC and INEC, let EFCC allow INEC do what is going to be good for their election, please. And that's Ataka from Ikeja. Thank you. We also have Ade from Isolo. Good morning. Please, do we still have a lawyer like late Gani Fawemi in this country? It seems no one can challenge this Buhari-led government. And that's Ade from Isolo. We also have Good Morning Mainland FM. What happened in Sierra Leone is a warning to Nigeria government, most especially APC. Please wake up to save Nigeria. And that's Mr. Tunde Ogidi from Island, Lagos. Lagos Island. Sorry. Yes. Good morning. If Abacha loot is still being recovered till now, then it is like an unending mineral resources waiting to be discovered.
Like crude oil.
It's like crude, it's an interesting one. But if this can happen to Abacha, how much more? You mentioned names. I can't mention names. I'm sorry. That's Dio from Fagba, by the way, sharing his own thoughts there. Thank you very much, Dio from
Fagba.
Dio from Fagba. All right, let's take some phone calls and then we wrap up with more messages. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank God you picked my call because I was angry. My message is still hanging. You know, my message.
Explain to you. Okay, I'm with you.
So, yes, someone said Abacha was a very wise man, that he helped us to save for the rainy days. And maybe because he knew that the time like this will come when the country will be broke, and then from there he just released the part of the money he took. But what I want to ask Mr. Fuad is a shift. I want to look at that issue of the NBC that you were talking about initially. I want to help Sandra because Sandra was afraid to talk about it. I don't know why. My question is, those who work in the NBC, what actually is their job there?
That's the regulatory agency.
Yes, I know.
James Ogbonna.
Okay.
James Ogbonna.
Okay, I'm holding on.
We have focus. Please, let's focus.
I'm focusing now. It's part of the paper.
It's not part of no. The focus is INEC, EFCC, and
Abacha.
Yes,
Our great Abacha.
the great Abacha. Okay. So let's focus.
Yeah, let me focus. The issue of the electoral commission that they are planning to establish.
Okay.
Maybe when they establish it now, it will become this thing on its own that will start getting appropriations. They will have to appropriate budget for it.
Yeah, of course.
People will have to publish recruitment for people to be employed over there. And I'm sure they will have offices across the country because you cannot just take a small case in Lagos and take it to Abuja. So the question is, and we say there's no money and we are creating more and more establishments in government. And now we're not able to fund it. So what is now the essence of the EFCC and those who are probing
ICPC,
any other
police?
I think they will discover another commission inside that
commission again. I think we lost James.
Yeah. All right, but unfortunately, that will be the last call for this morning. It was quite an interesting conversation that we had this morning. And don't forget that, if you want to, check back on the conversation, you can always go to our YouTube channel, yes, and watch, how the conversation went. All right. Mainland 98.3 FM on YouTube, on Facebook. We're live every morning, so you can follow the conversation. What? Abacha's loot. I suggest that this money be used in the settlement of ASU. Unfortunately, they are not asking us what they should use the money for. They've already decided. But Uzoma from Isashi. All right. Thank you very much, Uzoma. I appreciate. All right. We also have money borrowed from China on this copy from Ojo, sharing his own contribution there. I also have good morning. My name is Quadri from Mushi. It's really sad that we keep hearing this same story over and over, that there's no money on ground for all these projects before they before they are using loot. It's just a way to re-loot again. People are really suffering in this country. And that's Quadri from Mushi. I also have good morning, Sandra and Fuad. Some MDAs are by the act setting them up made to retain certain percentage of the revenue they make as running cost. And that's Femi from Ogba. All right. And finally, I have good morning, Sandra. I'm surprised you don't know Abacha stove. Chai.
You don't know?
I don't know. I'm too small. He said it's either you are too rich or too small.
Too rich, actually.
Too small, actually. I don't know.
You were born during Abacha period?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Kazim from Ejibo, thank you very much. I appreciate. So that will be all for this morning. It was really an interesting conversation, but don't forget that another conversation will start by 4 p.m. on the Situation Room with Okwemi Akinyode, who is going to be having Honorable Lukman Adelagun Odumosu, that's PDP House of Assembly candidate at Jeremy Ifelodu Constituency 1, and they're going to be discussing legislative responsibilities and democracy, the roles of state house of assemblies. You know, that's something that we gloss over.
We don't take seriously.
We don't take seriously the state house of assemblies. So Okwemi has decided to look deep into that. Another thing that we are going to make Okwe look into is the Azura power plant, issue.
Let him investigate.
We are paying $33 million every month, whether they give us or they don't give us.
Wonderful.
That's amazing. I like that arrangement. Even if I was Azura, I'll be happy. But that's not the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be back by 9:45 for international stories. That's Global View. All right, don't go anywhere. Fuad Sahid will still be here. My name still remains Omobola Sandra. Don't forget that we are live on YouTube and Facebook at Mainland 98.3 FM. And don't forget to also please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mainland 98.3 FM. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay, it's 9:46 and it's time for Global View on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. And this is the part where we get to talk about trending stories on the international scene. We've talked about trending stories on the local scene, and we've also focused on, some areas of interest. But now we're moving on to what's happening outside the shores of this country. And apologies for that. Okay, and to start with, on the global scene, I still have Fuad Sahid with me, by the way, in the studio, to put some depth into our story. And my name still remains Omobola Sandra. Okay, so I'm starting with this story of Rashad Brooks. No charges in police killing that sparked protests. So the 2020 police killing of a motorist in the car park of a Georgia fast food restaurant was legally justified. Yeah. That's what we're getting now.
Very unfortunate.
And it's unfortunate. Rashad Brooks, 27, was fatally shot after about 3 weeks after, George Floyd's killing sparked off protest. And he was black, was gunned down. But what we have here, if you look at the report, it says that body cam footage on the police shows that he was asleep at the wheel and blocking a drive-through lane when officers approached. For around 41 minutes of questioning, Brooks complied with the officer's request. Now, after he failed a breath test, the officers moved to arrest him on suspicion of drink and drive.
One of the officers,
then turned and fired it at them, and then he ran away. So, that was when the officer opened fire on Brooks and hit him twice at the back. So, as it is now, he has an aggravated assault and violation of oath. Because you're not meant to shoot to kill. You're meant to shoot to,
restrain.
To render them vulnerable. That's that. So that's the update. Racial profiling.
Well, people will
thing.
still argue that if he was a white suspect,
would he have been shot at all?
The response of the police have been the same. Would it have been that heavy,
But he assaulted a policeman.
Well, yeah, it was an assault, but you still have to juxtapose it against a white suspect. If it was a white guy who was drunk, who had packed like that and engaged in a fisticuff with the police,
will he
would
still
response
have been shot?
Like, yes,
Okay. All right, but as it is, he's still being charged. I mean, for aggravated assault, he shouldn't have gone that far. And also violation of oath. You don't shoot to kill. All right, so moving on, still on the foreign scene, we have here India sacks officers for accidentally firing missile into Pakistan. How did he accidentally? How do you accidentally fire a missile into?
When I got this story, I was like, well, you don't play with things like this,
Well, as it is now, India's government have sacked 3 Air Force officers. And this has because the incident actually escalated into tension. Pakistan and India,
they are both nuclear powers. They are both nuclear powers.
And, they both work on eggshells around each other. So let's not start something that would, as it is. So Delhi has blamed Delhi, that's India's capital, had blamed the deeply regrettable incident on a technical malfunction during routine maintenance. Pakistan has warned Delhi to be mindful of the unpleasant consequences of such negligence and to avoid a repeat. So the point is that they've both sat and said,
but India had to take action and sack those officers. That was a costly error.
Somebody had to roll. And I need to bring it. He resigns, voluntarily. Oh, I messed up. I'm sorry. Let me just go home and sit down.
It doesn't happen.
But as it is now, people had to take, what's happened. There was people worshiping in their church, and people just went in and shot at, and investigation is still ongoing. But then people are saying that the reason why
unfortunate, very very unfortunate.
Very, very, because they said the missile had endangered many passengers and international flights in India and Pakistan airspace as well. Arali can be hit too. But as it is, people have been fired, and they've both come to there's the white hanky has been flagged on both sides.
On both sides, okay, yeah. Peace, no issues,
no issues. All right,
it
was an accident.
No war.
Let's move on. All right, finally on the foreign scene. Twitter whistleblower raises security concerns. So as it is now, a former security chief for Twitter has turned to a whistleblower and has testified that the company misled users and US regulators about gaps in its security. And I'm going to bring this
Musk.
Thank you. Thank you very
Musk,
much.
yeah.
I'm going to bring this, as regards Musk, the reason why he decided to take a step back.
Musk may be having a case after all of this. He talked about the fact that there wasn't full disclosure.
Fuhad Sahid always say something about propaganda and whatnot and whatnot. This guy was working for Twitter and all of a sudden is speaking out now that there's a security issue with Twitter. And I don't know, but do you see any sinister moves or intentions?
No. Well, the intentions, yes, on the side, but what we have to look at the facts. Is he saying this based on facts, based on what he knows?
And I also
that's
want
what we
to
should
bring
consider here.
And I also want to bring up the fact that this staff turned whistleblower, was once was sacked. It wasn't that he resigned.
Okay,
he was sacked in January, just this year. January.
You think it may be just a malicious statement
that there are security issues and the chief security, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, so get gone.
Just need to know is that the cyber world is what going on with Twitter at this time, and I think Musk may be cashing on this particular revelation. He actually talked about the fact that there are too many fake accounts.
Because our whistleblower is saying that Twitter lied to Elon Musk about bots
I just even talked about Elon Musk now. So and so those may be that's Abacha stuff you're seeing there live and direct.
That's from Miss Titi. She had to send it to me to help me out. Say, why are you embarrassing me on national radio and say you don't know what Abacha stove is?
Well, that's it.
I'm not the only one.
A lot of people don't know.
Jay does not know what Abacha stove is. And if Jay does not know, then I'm free.
So
all right, but still on the international scene, but I get that's all we have from the foreign scene on Global View this morning. Thank you very much for having me, for sitting in with me. All right, thank you. It is a beautiful Wednesday, the 24th of August 2022. So it means that in a few minutes you'll be on to Up You with Ezine Kufre Ekanem on air by 10:10, and then of course the Lady Jade will come on through by 11:15 for community platform. Don't forget that today Okoyemi Akinode is going to have the PDP House of Assembly candidate for Jeremy Effect from House of Assemblies generally. All right, so tune in by 4 p.m. today for that one. You don't want to miss it. All right, so in all, stay with us on the dial. It's 98.3 Mainland FM, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Mainland 98.3 FM.